Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard. So pleased to be with you here on African Diaspora News Channel. As you come in, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and share the broadcast. This helps to activate the algorithm to let other folks know that we're here. And how many of you all know that sometimes there are uh, stumbling blocks to our visibility. So when you are active and intentional, you help to spread the message and let other folks just like you know that we're here. So we thank you so much for that, as well as be sure, beloved, to download our app for African Diaspora News Channel. We're taking things to the next level. We're expanding our voice. How many of you all know that we believe in expanding our voice in a multitude of ways? There are so many different things that are happening online and with different platforms. And so we're able to expand our voice and have greater control when we have our own app, and we have it. So we want you to download it. Be sure to subscribe. Tell everybody you know about it. We are here to speak as your voice, and I think you're going to love it. Thank you so very much, family. I have been doing coverage on the most recent hearing that the House Foreign Affairs Committee has conducted. Now, you all know I am known for doing this. This is kind of my hallmark when I call out politicians and highlight not only politicians, congresspersons, heads of state, all these different things and their connection to the geopolitical Black diaspora African landscape. Yes, I know that was a mouthful. Well, let me tell you something. They don't expect folks like me, your sister with the curly braids who was born and raised in Mississippi, now lives in the West in the United States. They don't expect somebody like me to weigh in on these types of issues, which is exactly why I need to. We're the original people. So what we say about the planet matters. So whether we understand all the details or not, it's important for us to begin to engage in our world. Talk Black to me, somebody. Let me hit the gavel on that. In case you don't know, the Vicki Show has been the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. I've had this gavel revelation almost 19 years now, supernaturally, and I brought it online with me because I want you to know that our words matter. It's not just a symbol that should be associated with congresspersons, just like the one that we're discussing today, and your legislators and policymakers and judges. I want you to know that your words matter and you make matter. With that being said, family, Congresswoman Representative Kim, she sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I have discussed her before. She made an outrageous comment and questioning. For example, some of you may have seen this. If you haven't, just pull it up in the search engine here on this network, where she was discussing Ethiopia, and she had the nerve to ask the ambassador, which was one of the witnesses there, whether or not the United States had jurisdiction over Ethiopia's defense department. And I was, lady, just the fact that, family, she even asked the question lets you know just how America thinks about the rest of the world. You know, for 1 second, she would never ask who has jurisdiction concerning what's going on over there in Russia. She wouldn't say that about Ukraine. She certainly wouldn't say that, about the EU. So just the fact that she felt comfortable saying that lets you know exactly how they see the continent, Africa, and its 54 nations that are the 54 nations on it. Well, anyway, this same congresswoman, she's now questioning one of the witnesses here in one of the most recent hearings, which was quite lengthy, entitled "The Future of Freedom in Nigeria." Are y'all listening to me today? The future of freedom in Nigeria. So here she is speaking to the witness. I believe this one is Mr. Ebenezer Obadere. He is of the Douglas Dillon Senior Fellow of African Studies, the Council of Foreign Relations. Now, Council of Foreign Relations is a whole other geopolitical strategic organization that exists, that works hand in glove with the State Department in order to shape global events, but they make themselves appear to be a separate entity. I'm going to leave that alone. We're going to get into more of that later. I need you all to understand this is how the game is played to rule the world, to control the world. So that's the reason why I said they speak in code, and you got to understand how the code is spoken and who their allies are in order for them to do certain types of things in the United States and to make an impact and influence, even if it's a deleterious one, around the world. I want you to watch this clip.
Issue regarding the China's influence in Nigeria, because I also serve as a chairwoman of the Indo-Pacific, so this is an area of deep concern to me. There are reports that China may seek to protect the Naira's value by adopting Chinese yuan as an official reserve currency alongside the dollar. And I understand that there is a draft bill in Nigerian House of Representatives to do exactly that. So let me ask this question to Mr. Obadel. What would be the implication of such a move, and what does that initiative show?
Okay, here Congressman Representative Kim with her crazy antics again. Notice how when she's questioning Representative Ebenezer Obadere, she starts by talking about the fact that she's on another committee, the Indo-Pacific Committee, right? So then she says this is the reason why she needs to talk about China. Now you sitting here talking to Nigerian witnesses and stuff, but she has to invoke China and let you know that not only does she sit on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, but she sits on the Indo-Pacific Committee, so she's got to bring them up. She starts her questioning and inquiry by expressing her deep concern with China and Nigeria. She's sitting here talking about the Nigerian House has a draft legislation concerning the Chinese yuan alongside of the United States dollar, basically in the way she expressed it in her questioning, as if they're looking to basically equally make them accessible. So she's concerned about this. And then she wants to know, what does this say about the relationship between Nigeria and China? Family, you all have to understand, when these hearings are being done and they're flying people from around the world there, they're getting intelligence from you. They're taking the temperature so that America knows how to move. And they make you feel when they bring you there that this is an honor. And some people that are there, I get it, there's some strategic purposes, but in terms, the bottom line for the United States, for the most part, even when it looks like they got, they have some fair Congress people asking questions and some that are just outrageous and blatant with their, imperialistic and hegemonic goals and tendencies. Trust and believe this whole setup is just about gathering intelligence. They don't need to have a single spy that looks like you just over there in Nigeria. They can bring you here, tell you their Congress, talk black to me somebody, and turn around and get your temperature about what's really going on, because they're trying to really make sure that you're not really, 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 really liking the Chinese like that. They're nervous about their place there. They're nervous about these other countries being able to infiltrate. And if these other countries are there, they're not. The purpose of the United States being upset and constantly questioning Russia's presence and China's presence and this, that, and the third one, Iran's influence and this, that, they only doing that because they're trying to see who all is there to watch their madness. America knows what she's been doing covertly. She needs to know who else is there to monitor to see really what they up to. They need to know who else is going to be able to come in and take their place as it relates to all of the other secret advantages that the United States has. So you have to see this as a military strategy. Don't sit here and tell me I'm a daughter of the United States. I don't need nobody to check me about the technical language of what they said and who they was referring to. No, baby. This is warfare, and they use Congress to solicit information from you in what they call a hearing. And the records that are made, the records that are captured, whether a transcript in written form or video form, is going to be utilized in their intelligence, for their intelligence services and their other interagencies, their intergovernmental agencies. They're going to take the stuff that you say, oh, okay, so some of their society is really ticked off with their, some of the Nigerian citizens are still ticked off at the government. They're mad about this. They're saying that the police, which they discussed that during the hearing, they're saying that the police is a hot mess. They're concerned about kidnappings. They're concerned about Boko Haram. They're concerned about this. These are all areas that the United States can go in and exploit, because you're letting them know this is what's wrong over here. So when those issues continue, watch this, to persist, and often gets worse. No disrespect. Some of you help the United States accurately identify where they can go to, the areas they can go into to exploit. Meanwhile, some of you think you're telling me something. Some of you think that you're enlightening me by letting me know what technical language they use. You can't, who talking to? No, let me put you on and let you know how they speak in code, how they speak indirectly. I know we don't talk about this too much, but they have this little thing in the United States that's talking about the Miranda rights, which, by the way, has been attacked by the courts in recent history. But it used to go something like this. You have the right to remain silent. Why? Because anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Please know that same principle exists. Only you're not under arrest. They take your words to use it against you. It enlightens the so-called intelligence agencies here. And as I mentioned, the governmental interagency, so they'll know what other areas to exploit to keep division going on, so that they can keep a stronghold in there, so they can figure out what ways they can justify being in your country, and figure out other ways that they can begin to undermine other countries that they deem as a threat. I'm just putting y'all up on geopolitical game. Your sister from Mississippi, she's concerned. Notice she brought up the Belt and Road Initiative. What the brother did, Mr. Ebenezer, he brought up the Belt and Road Initiative. And then he tried to make light of it and say, oh, this is not going to end in nothing. This is just a fly-by-night. Did you hear him use that language? Oh, this is just a fly-by-night thing. This is not going to really turn into nothing. It's my hope that the brother intentionally misled her on that question. So you got to be wise. I will have respect for you, Mr. Ebenezer Obadere, if you just told her that to calm America's little twisted fears. See, America projects her madness onto the world. So if you told her that just to move it along, so that you're not letting her really know what y'all up to for the protection and safety of your own country, then I understand. But don't come over here. Don't be just snitching and running your mouth to the powers that shouldn't be, thus undermining your own country. I'm just putting y'all on game. Y'all see that wink, wink, wink? I got to have fun with you. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Be sure to comment below and share the broadcast. And of course, be sure to check out my website. I have so many wonderful, yummy products, including a luxury magazine available for the everyday woman, redefining that definition, as well as wonderful spiritual products and services at my website at VickiPlanet.com. That's VICKI Planet.com. I can't wait to see you again.